Hi, this is Kristen here. Welcome to the process video. And today I'm working on a layout for Bramble Fox's Cutfile team. And I am using this adorable cat Wreath cut file. So I've already gone ahead and cut the cut file out. I'm using Bella Boulevard's Meow collection. And so the paper I cut the cut file out from was a kind of a pink paper with some darker pink hearts on it. And then I went ahead and backed the cut file with different papers within the Meow collection. And then I'm going to go ahead and start picking out some different ephemera pieces. And so I'm documenting a couple photographs of my daughter loving on her little kitty cat, Shelby. Of course, as I was picking out ephemera pieces, I was really trying to pick out pieces that would kind of accentuate the wreath cut file as well as the pictures. I didn't want to take away from either. And I kind of feel like I'm of the mindset when I use a cut file, because it does take time to cut it out, it takes time to back it. Like, I want that to kind of be front and center and kind of, for the most part, most of my ephemera. And so whatever pieces I pick out to go with it, I want it to kind of help boost the cut file, help to kind of, add something to it. I thought that this Whisker Kisses banner piece was, granted, it's not really, I don't think a super obvious title on this layout, but I just felt like that was really appropriate, considering it. That's kind of what it looks like they're doing is, she's giving her a kiss, although Shelby, I think, was just more or less sniffing her. So anyways, we've had Shelby since my daughter Bella was almost 1. And we initially got her, we had another cat pass away. And Shelby is what's called a Savannah cat. So it's, she's got like some serval in her line. Very intelligent cat. It's almost kind of a little bit of dog-like personalities. But anyways, we had gotten Shelby because our other Savannah cat had passed away. And Bella and Shelby completely bonded. Like, if my daughter cries and is upset, like, Shelby will try to break down a door to get to her. She just is very in tune and in sync with her. So, and honestly, Shelby typically does not like any of us to really pick her up, but she will let Bella, my daughter, pick her up and just carry her wherever. She just hangs there. It's really kind of amazing to see. So anyways, that piece to the left, that is called a Bella Pop. So those are kind of like 3D stickers that Bella Boulevard puts out. And I decided, because I wanted to try to work in some more colors within the collection, since the cut file was backed with a lot of different colors. And obviously the ephemera pieces I was pulling in had some of those different colors. I did decide I wanted to add a border to this. So I really like this stripe paper. So I ended up cutting off, I think, about 1 inch from either side. So that way that you could really see that border. I will gut the center of the stripe paper just so that way I can reuse it later for a different layout. So anyways, Bramble Fox is a UK-based company. They have a bunch of different really cute acrylic pieces that you could buy. They've got cut files, so I will include the link down below so that you can go check them out. As soon as I saw that cut file, I was like, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. I feel like, sometimes it's like, you'll see something like that and it just naturally the layout will come together. And that's kind of what happened for me. Now, the only thing I kind of found that I was hitting my head against with this was just trying to pick out the embellishment pieces that weren't going to overwhelm the cut file, because again, I wanted the cut file to be front and center. So I kind of was being a little choosy about what I wanted, just because I didn't want to cover up the cat wreath. So I'm going to go ahead and get this paper adhered down. Now with the pictures, I definitely wanted to add some kind of a border or, something additional there just to kind of make them pop. And so I thought I was going to reuse this stripe paper, but I just felt like with the cut file, it was just going to be too much. And so I decided to go away from that. I start to pull in some different pieces here. So I auditioned yellow, I auditioned blue, but the problem that I was finding with this was I liked how those looked behind the photographs, but then the cat wreath cut file had a lot of those colors in it. So I wanted to try to pull in another color that you could see on the border that maybe wasn't in the cut file itself and was not, was present in the ephemera pieces, because, there was, a lot of different colors in the ephemera pieces. So I ultimately landed on doing green. So you'll see me pull that in. So that's why I kind of was holding up the cut file there, because it did have blue. And I was like, well, I kind of feel like that's going to be a little bit too close to the blue that's in the cut file. And so I was trying to work in a different color that was, present in either the ephemera pieces in the border, but, maybe not so much in the cut file itself. So that's why I pull in this green. I'm going to do a very thin border with this. I just wanted enough to kind of like pop the pictures up. I didn't want to add a super thick border, because then on top of that, that was going to interfere with the cut file. And so I kind of wanted to make sure that those photographs were still going to be pretty well centered within that wreath. So I'm going to go ahead and get this other one backed here. And you can see I did a very thin border. I feel like oftentimes it doesn't take a lot of a border around a picture to kind of get it to stand up out from the background. So I really feel like it kind of depends on the picture and kind of the layout. I oftentimes won't even back my photographs with any kind of a border, just because sometimes I don't really feel like it calls for it. But I felt like in this instance, it definitely added to the layout. And so I'm going to start going ahead and getting some of these ephemera pieces kind of put back on there, kind of figure out how I want everything positioned. I really love that XOXO. I just thought that looked really cute there. And it didn't cover up that, the yarn. Like I thought, I really wanted that yarn to be able to be seen, so. And I obviously did not want to cover up the little cat face there, so that's kind of why I was trying to shift these pieces around. I kind of felt like this kind of wordy piece was maybe just a little bit too big, so you'll see me pull that off and work on a different piece. So I'm looking at the cardstock stickers to see if there's anything else that would work better there. And I end up finding a little arrow piece that says it's a cat thing. So kind of what you see me doing here is I end up taking a powder tool and just de-sticking the back of it. So that way I can work with that piece still and make sure that that's what I want on the layout before I adhere it down. I find myself doing that pretty often with my cardstock stickers, because I'm kind of a hesitant person, so I'm not normally somebody that will glue something down right away and stick it on there. I usually will kind of map out my layout a couple times before I really commit. That's just my indecisiveness. I really admire people that are just like, they just go for it and they're good with it, but that's not me. So oftentimes anymore, I will use that powder tool and kind of de-stick my cardstock stickers, just in that way I can kind of rework things. And so I really kind of wanted something else up on the top part of this layout, but I just kind of felt like everything I was putting there was either covering up too much of the wreath, or just didn't kind of fit there. So I end up pulling in this Bella Pop. I decided to put it up here. Granted, I'm covering up the little fish, but that tag that's on the left-hand side, that will go away. So you will see the little fish down kind of to the left bottom part of the picture there. So, and then I end up adding the Puffy Sticker Perfect with that purr. I just thought that that really kind of rounded out the layout. I added a few little Puffy Sticker paw prints and a Puffy Sticker cat face. And so here is a couple close-up shots. I think this turned out so adorable. Go check out Bramble Fox. I will include the link down below. I appreciate you for coming by to watch another process video.